of joy or stress this time of the year? Maybe a little of both.
Yeah, well, it's time to set you straight with a little Monday motivation. Joining us now is Arthur and motivational speaker, former Pittsburgh Steeler, Arthur Moats. And Arthur, we're ready to be inspired. What are you leaning into this holiday week? You always have something good.
Well, yeah, I feel like you always have to have something, especially during the holiday time. And for me, I'm focusing on, traditions, right? And what I'm thinking of is when I talk about just making these family memories, these family moments, man, some of the most amazing moments that I think of growing up as a child was when we were making Christmas cookies, when we were making gingerbread houses. Granted, they don't cost anything, right? So they're easy to do, but when you think about just the time together, that's the part for me that always jumps off the, when I'm thinking about it, it just makes me feel happy. Just this weekend, matter of fact, we're making Christmas cookies and being able to see my children smiling, getting extra messy with it. But that's the most fun, right? You have to make a mess if you're in the kitchen. But for me, man, those are some of the things that always just stand out and make me want to just continue doing that or create even new traditions as well.
Yeah, all I could think about was licking the cookie batter. That's kind of where my mind went. So do you feel like you need to kind of have a list of items that you want your family to do? Like kind of have a plan for the holiday?
Yeah. Well, I know for my family, we try to have a little bit of a plan just so that way, the whole month isn't just, man, well, are we doing something every single day where you feel like you haven't done anything at all? But I do think you have to have a balance. So for example, we might schedule one or two big events, right? The Nutcracker or going ice skating. But then the other things, like I said, going to search for a Christmas tree, things like that, that don't have to be a big production, but at the same time, that is a tradition. At the same time, it helps your family get closer. And for those with little kids, like I said, it's just a fun experience seeing their reactions and their faces and ultimately knowing that this is something that they're going to remember, 20 years from now.
Yeah, I was wondering, what if you have kids that are of a broad range, like younger children versus teenagers?
Yeah, and great example. I actually happen to have that. I have a freshman in high school and a first grader as well. But when you're doing these things, I always try to think of what can I do that's going to be entertaining enough for my young child, but at the same time, cool enough for my teenager. So I try to make sure that we think of things that are going to be social media friendly as well, right? Because we know pictures are a big thing now, right? But, well, hey, man, what about if I'm creating this memory with you and now we can snap this picture? So instead of it just being we're going to find our own tree, well, how about we find a tree that looks cool? First, take a picture of that, and then we can compare and contrast before and after of when we get the picture, and then once when we get the tree versus when we actually decorate the tree. Because for the little one, he's going to have fun, right? Because he's decorating it. And then for my teenager, she's going to have a blast because she's going to look amazing next to this perfect Christmas tree that she got to help out in picking out.
Yeah, that's such a good idea. Now, what if you don't have a lot of family? Maybe it's just you. Do you have any recommendations then?
Yeah, absolutely. Now that goes back to my college time, right? Where you're trying to think of traditions as a single person, right? Or a one-off, whether you're away from your family. A couple of things that I did when I was younger. Number one, I said, okay, every year I'm going to watch Home Alone because for me personally, it was so fitting. I was like, man, I'm away from my family. I don't want to be sad, but let me find a movie that is a classic that's going to bring back good memories for myself. But at the same time, it's never going to get old because who doesn't love watching Macaulay Culkin smack his cheeks and say, ah!
Exactly.
So I would say that, but then also going out and hanging out with some of your other friends that may be by themselves. Ugly Christmas sweater parties. As you can see, I'm a little bit, early for mine, but I love these type of things because as an individual one-off, you can do this with other single individuals in your community and ultimately help you feel some sense of togetherness.
Yeah, and I'll even add volunteering to that too.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Soup kitchens, different charities that focus on gift giving or just ultimately having it where families don't have to feel alone during the holidays. Absolutely. And I always love that element because it's twofold. Not only are you going to have an impact on those families that you're helping, but you're also going to feel so much better about yourself as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Arthur. You always have the best ideas, and you surely put a smile on our face.
Absolutely.
Well,
now, you can hear more from Arthur in the new year. Motivation Monday will be back here on PTL in 2022.
All right. He always has the best tips.
Absolutely.
Okay.